How do you prepare for a storm? Like when things are about to be messy. So today in Michigan, it is crystal clear blue skies, but tomorrow we know is a storm coming. Do we know how bad it's going to be? No. But how do we prepare for something like that? And so in life, how do you prepare when you're like, ooh, I don't know how that's going to go. I'm not quite so sure. And for us to actually go through and say, wait a minute, I can prepare just as we prepare for a winter storm. I can prepare. I can have a person's number on hand. I can have a book at the ready. I can have a mantra or piece of wisdom or a Bible verse that kind of helps get me through. And so to begin to think about that, and maybe even it helps to go through, all right, worst case scenario, but what would you do? Not to sit there and just be in fear of, but instead, how will you respond if something does happen? And so to empower yourself that, yes, I can prepare even when I don't exactly know what's going to happen. And it kind of reminds me of the story of Jesus, where Jesus is asleep on the boat, a storm comes up, his disciples are freaked out, and he wakes up and he's like, why are you guys all freaked out? Why are you just sitting in fear? They didn't wake him up to help. Instead, they just sat in the fear of what might happen, that they didn't think through or prepare for how to get through. And so how might you prepare today for a messy situation that you can feel is kind of coming? How might you prepare for the storm? We had that video I did a couple of weeks ago about being after the storm of finding beauty. But how might you prepare today that empowers you and says, you know what? You can do this. You've got this. May you prepare and know that God goes with you, that God loves you, and may God strengthen you for the journey. Have a good one.